I'm going to be showing you guys how to install DVSwitch on an Android device using a Raspberry Pi. As you can see on my phone, I have it here displayed on the screen. We're going to show you what DVSwitch looks like. If you don't have it already installed on your device, go into the Play Store and search for IAX RPT, or you can just search for DVSwitch. It'll be the first one that pops up. Click it, install it. Once you install it, it'll open up and it'll look like this. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you have a Raspberry Pi. Here you can see I have a Raspberry Pi 4 in a C4 Labs enclosure. You can use the Raspberry 3B Plus. I think that's the recommended one because the 4s tend to run a little hot. But I'm going to use this for the sake of the video. It's a Raspberry Pi 4. Get yourself a micro SD card. As you can see here, I have one of these cards that holds all my micro SD cards. It's just an easy way to keep them stored. And then get yourself a way to connect the micro SD to your computer. Some computers might already have the micro SD or even the SD slot on the computer. You can do it that way. I choose to do it this way. I have an Anchor. It's called, I think, like an Anchor multimedia adapter or something like that. So one side is USB 3, one side is USB-C, so you can use it on your phone and your computer. But for this example, we're going to be using the USB 3.0. And it has a micro SD slot. I don't know if you could see that. And a SD slot. So I've already done this part, so I'm just going to explain it. I'm not going to necessarily show you guys exactly how to do it. But once you have these things and you have these things ready to go, you're going to want to go to gmrslive.com. Go to the download tab. So this is the way I've done it. If you're trying to connect to the Broadnet, so when you register on Broadnet GMRS.net, they're gonna send you this image if I'm not mistaken. But this is just the way that I did it. It's just another solution. So you go to gmrslive.com, go to the downloads tab, and then GMRS Live image. As you can see in the bottom, it's gonna download the image. Once it's finished downloading, you're going to want to extract and then or open it and extract the file. So once it's finished extracting, it's going to look like this. You're going to have two files. So just keep that to the side. Memorize, or not memorize, but just remember where you stored. As you can see here, I have mine in the downloads folder. It depends on what settings you have on your computer. So there are a few applications you're going to have to download on your computer. The first one is Etcher. Just Google Etcher and it'll pop up. You can download it. Once it's downloaded, install it. And when you install it, it'll open up like this. The next application you're going to want to download is Putty. Putty. So Papa, Uniform, Tango, Tango, Yankee. Download it, install it. It'll look like this when you open it. I'll show you guys how to set everything up after. For now, just go ahead and download these applications. Then you're going to want to go ahead and download WinSCP. So it's Whiskey India November Sierra Charlie Papa. WinSCP, just Google it, download it. You'll find it. Once you download it, it'll look like this. So once you have all of that downloaded, you're going to go back to Etcher and you're going to want to install your micro SD card to your computer. Here I'm going to show you how I do mine. I've already installed the image on here, so I'm not going to show you that step by step. But I think if you're up to this point, or if you're even willing to try this, you should know how to connect your micro SD card to your computer. And you are going to want to format the micro SD card. So make sure it's a clean a clean micro SD card with nothing installed in it. The one that I have here that I'm using is a 16 gigabyte. You can use, I think 16 is probably the recommended. You might not want to go lower than 16. It might work with 8. I mean, I think it should work with 8 because I don't think the file size is bigger than 8 gigabytes. I just use 16. That's what I have. So basically, once you download that GMRS file that I told you in the beginning, you're going to open up Etcher, and then you're going to flash from, flash from file. You're going to select it. It's going to open up. It's going to ask you to basically select the GMRS live image that you just downloaded. So find it, select it, and then once it's selected, you'll see it here, GMRS live.1.1. And then you're going to select target. It's the micro SD card that we just put in. And then flash. I'm not going to do this part because I already flashed it on here, so it's unnecessary to do it again. It will take a few minutes. It's going to have to flash it, and then it's going to have to validate. So it will take some time. Once it's done, close Etcher, and then you're going to want to go ahead and install the micro SD card. Take it out from your computer, put it into the Raspberry Pi. Then you're going to want to power it and connect it to your internet router via Ethernet, as you can see here. So I'm going to pause the video just to go do that. And then we're going to find out the IP address for this Raspberry Pi. Okay, so once you have your Raspberry Pi connected to your Ethernet, it's connected to your router, and you have a power supply powering your Raspberry Pi, you're going to want to go ahead and find out the IP address for that Raspberry Pi. Make sure the device, or there are multiple ways to find out IP addresses for devices. I'm just going to show you the way that I do it. Zoom out a little bit. All right, so I use my phone to find out my IP address. You can do it different ways. I think there's an application for Windows. It's called Advanced IP. There's different ways to do it. I'm going to show you a way I do it on my phone. Download an app called Fing. Go to the App Store or the Play Store. Download it, install it, open it. It'll look like this. This is your main screen. As you can see, it shows you your Wi-Fi network, your internet provider, whoever that may be. What you want to do is go to Scan Devices, and then it's going to show you everything that's connected to your network in the moment. So right now, as you can see, Alarm Pi 1.LAN, that's the one that we just installed. The IP address for this one, right there. Okay, so it's 192.168.1.10. That's what we're going to be using for the sake of this video. So close your phone, and now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up an application, or are you going to want to download Putty. Putty is the application that I told you to download at the beginning. All right, here we go. Let me pull it up. Okay, so now that we're here, you're going to want to go to Putty, and then you're going to want to type in 192.168.1.10. In your case, it would be the IP address for the Raspberry Pi that on your network. So your port's always going to be 222. That's what you're going to want to use. So put your IP address, put 222, and then hit open. Okay, so once you hit open, you might be prompted, I forget what the prompt is, but just hit accept. It's basically, it's telling you that you're connecting to an unknown network vector. When it's the first time that you connect. Anytime after that you connect, you won't get that prompt. So go ahead and hit open. I'm going to transition to show you. I'm going to ask you to sign in. Okay. You're going to sign in, root, and then you're going to put the password that you originally put. It's going to ask you if you want to continue. Basically saying if you want to continue to set up your asterisk, hit yes. Enter node number. This is one of my node numbers. It's 1304. Now this information, these node numbers, you'll be assigned by the Broadnet. So when you email them to request access to their hub, they'll issue you node numbers and specific passwords for those node numbers. So you'll definitely need those to set this up. So I'm going to do 1304. I think when you first do this, it'll say 1998 as the default. Just make sure you enter your node number or the node number that you've been assigned. Hit OK. And then it's going to ask you to enter call station, or sorry, enter station call for node, which is your call sign. In my case, WRKJ296. Hit OK. It's going to ask you if you want to use voice or CWID. CW is just the Morse code. So your node is going to identify every about 15 minutes. So here's where you choose if you want it to be call ID, or excuse me, voice ID, which is the voice will come on and actually repeat your call sign. In my case, WRKJ296. If you want to use the Morse code, then here's where you would change that. You would hit no and change it. I want to keep it as voice ID, so I'm just going to hit yes. This is your port number. Default for this is going to be 4569. If it's your first time setting up a node, keep it as default 4569. You are going to want to make your IP address static for the Raspberry Pi for your node. So make sure when you make it static, you also do port forwarding and you enable the port 4569. In my case, I have multiple nodes on my network, so I'm going to do 4563 because you want different ports for different nodes. That's just more complicated. I don't want to get into it. So if it's your first one, leave it at 4569. We're going to put mine to 4563 for the sake of this video. I'm going to hit OK. And now it's going to ask you what type of node you want to set up. So just set up number 1 as semi-duplex and hit enter. So once you hit OK, you're going to get that. You're going to get this window, and this is where you enter the password. It is case sensitive, so make sure you type it with case sensitive. So if it's uppercase, lowercase, make sure you follow the same, basically type it in the same way. So after it asks you for your password, you're going to enter your password and you're going to hit enter. Once you hit enter, it's going to prompt you with this window. Do you want to configure the password for an IAX RPT connection? Hit no. Do you want to configure simple USB settings now? Nope. Do you want to restart asterisk to enable selections? Yes. So when you make big changes to your node, you kind of always want to restart asterisk just so those settings can kick in. All right, so now we're going to minimize PuTTY and then go ahead and open up WinSCP. So once you go here, you go to your new session. Actually, let me make this bigger so you can see. New session, you're going to be prompted here. Type in the IP address. In this case, don't forget the port is 32s. Username. And then enter your username as root, and password is the password you set up at the beginning of setting up your Pi. It's going to open up, go all the way back until you get to root. Go to your etc folder, go to asterisks, and then we're going to work on 2 files within this. It's going to be iaxconf.conf and extensions.conf. So what I want to do first is I want to take each file, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it to my desktop just in case I make a mistake. It already posted it here, I didn't realize. All right, so extensions, Control C, go to your desktop, Control V, it should pop up here. Yep, right there. So now you have these as backups just in case you make a mistake and you need to start over. All right, so now let's go back to WinSCP. Let's open up iax.conf. It's going to open up your script basically for that file. So you want to scroll down and find right here where it says example for Android, iPhone, Zoiper. Right under that, you see my phone iax.rpt. kind of want to change. You could leave it, but then that's the username you'll have to use on the DVSwitch app on your phone. I'm going to switch mine to electrical flow. That's just my username that I'm going to use. And then down here where it says secret equals, let's just, for the sake of the video, password 1. So remember these username and password, because this is what you're going to use to sign on to the DVSwitch app on your phone. Make sure you check the spelling, because that is case sensitive. So once you're done with that, go up, save it, and then you can close this. Now let's go to extensions.conf. Scroll down until you see this, the setup lines right here. So now what this is, it shows you your node number, in this case 1304. You see where it says 1998 vertically, like one line at a time? Changes to your node number. So 13, 0, and then 4. Right here where it says 1998. Change it to 1304. I think that's it. So once you're done here, save, exit, go back to PuTTY, restart your Asterisk server. Okay, so hit yes to restart. It's going to restart Asterisk. Once it's back up and running, we're going to go back to, now we're going to go to the DVSwitch app on the phone. Right, now that we have DVSwitch on the phone, when you first open this up, I have a whole bunch here already. You could choose the one on the top. It should say empty the way this one does. And this is what'll pop up. So go to IA, where it says protocol, make sure it says IAX2. Under host name, it should be the IP address for your node. In my case, 192.168.1.10. For the port, yours should be 4569 as default. I set mine to 4563. This is the stanza name or the username we chose, so electrical flow. And the password is the password we chose. Password 1. Caller ID is your node. I'm sorry, excuse me, your call sign. Caller number, you leave it empty. And then node number is 1304. So make sure everything's spelled right. No extra spaces where you need, the way you don't need them. And then hit save. Now you get it back. And you should see 1304 pop up on the window there. You can hit connect.
Node 1304.
And as you can see, you are now connected. So if I want to connect to the Broadnet as a DVSwitch user, you do asterisk 31423. Let's hit send.
Node 1423 connected to node 1304.
Okay, so we're connected.
J296.
All right, as you can see, now we're connected to the network. I'm going to call out and see. You hold down the PTT button. When it turns red, you are actively talking. WRKJ296 on the DVSwitch. Can anyone out there give me a radio check?
WRHW640, your radio's working. 555.
$640. Thank you for the comeback. Appreciate that, man. WRKJ296. I'll be on this side standing by. All right. So we are now connected to the Broadnet network. And that's, I hope this video helps. Oh, actually, before I even get to that, to connect to the network, it's always going to be *3 followed by the hub that you want to connect to. In this case, the 1423. That's where the DVSwitch users go on the Broadnet hub. Now to disconnect, it's *11423. So it's, instead of *3, it's *1. So once you hit send,
Node 1423 disconnected.
and now you're disconnected from the network. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped and it explained how to set up DVSwitch on Android. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them on a timely manner. I hope I was as detailed as possible and I explained how everything works. As long as you follow the steps, you should be able to connect yourself to the network. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys on the Broadnet 73s. WRKJ296 out.